My name is Shenhe. I was born fated to bear the curse of calamity, so I am prone to bring harm to the people around me. The Adepti urged me to bind my soul with red ropes to keep my homicidal nature at bay. If you are able to walk alongside me without fear, very well. Now, give me your hand. The assumption that every person has somewhere to call home is naive. I got used to living in the mountains alongside the birds and beasts a long time ago. Mind be purged, world be saved. My pole arm doesn't distinguish friend from foe, and there is clearly a limit to the red rope's power. That's why I loathe crowded areas. In the mortal world at times like these, is it not customary to use an umbrella? The sky is clearing up, and so is my mood. I just hope no one shows up to bother me. If they do, I'll just make them disappear. In this weather, I can freeze monsters in place and simply let the lightning bolts take care of the rest. A good way to not get my clothes dirty. Yes, this reminds me of Master. She loves to ride the swift winds of Qingyun Peak. Good morning. The dew is very sweet today. Would you like some? If you feel fatigued after lunch, you should try meditating. It's very effective. Do you prefer the artificial light of the cities and towns, or the moonlight in the mountains? Feel free to rest. I'm a light sleeper. If I hear anything in the vicinity, I'll investigate it for you. For all the training I've had, honing my body and mind, learning the Adepti arts, I've mostly been guided by my own instincts. It just comes down to self-preservation. I'm not trying to save the world, so if I wipe out some evil presence and it happens to benefit you, don't thank me. It's just a force of habit. If I treat people kindly, they call me an adeptus. And if I put them in their place, they call me a witch. The one thing you'll never hear them call me is human. They all seem to agree that I'm fundamentally different from them. I rarely leave the mountains, so I was never taught proper manners. When a conflict arises, I just take care of it the way that comes naturally to me. But if you don't approve of my methods, please do let me know. Even if I don't fully understand your reasoning, I will always defer to you. My master gave me these red ropes in order to restrain my impulses. But during our journey together, I feel I have finally grasped the key to all of this. Somehow, controlling my strength, knowing when to restrain myself and when to unleash, it comes more naturally to me now. I think that what saves me from myself is not my red ropes, but you. If you understand what that means to me, please stay by my side. So this shiny gemstone is called a vision? Huh. The gifts that fate brings, fate can just as easily take away. If one day my connection to this vision comes to an end, that'll be it. And the light inside of it will go out. Driving evil spirits away comes easily to me. Getting rid of my inner demons, however. Unless you can find a way to let go, all the Adepti arts and exorcism techniques in the world can't save you. Why do I always hear people say, the first snow of the season is a sight for sore eyes? We have snow every single day in the mountains. So which instance counts as the first snow? I don't understand what they mean. Please explain this to me. I have no use for the wealth that ordinary people desire. But in the hands of Lady Ningguang, wealth becomes a means of solving complex issues of the kind that no weapons could ever hope to resolve. She understands the unwritten rules of human society. She knows what's in people's hearts. Master once told me that even the Adepti aren't able to achieve this. I hold her and her work in high regard. I find I don't need to worry about etiquette with her, and unlike with some people, I don't need to rely on nonverbal cues to discern the true meaning of what she's saying. That makes me a lot more comfortable. The only problem is, well, there are too many people around her all the time, and I heard there's also many crew members on her ship. I need you to go with me. It's the only way I can cope with so many people. Yunjin performs... it's called Liue Opera, isn't it? I like this particular type of social interaction. You can get to know about the other person's background without having to actually interact with them one-on-one. If she ever includes your story in one of her performances, I'm sure the result will end up being quite incredible. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard many stories about her from my master. She's really quite different from how I originally imagined her. But don't worry, I'll be keeping this to myself. Speaking of Ganyu, her work in Liue Harbor is unbelievably busy. It seems that there is a price to pay for those who want to integrate into the mortal world. It's hard for me to believe that I still have living relatives in this world. If he has any difficulties with his training, I am more than willing to help enlighten him. However, he will need to meet me alone in the mountains. Their family is too... sociable. I wouldn't know how to turn down their invitations without being impolite. I've seen him lean over to you and whisper things in your ear. If he dares threaten you, I will make sure he... You mean it's just an in-joke between friends? Genuinely? That gentleman claims to be immortal, yet is very familiar with my master, who is an adeptus. Master once said, "If you see him drinking on a stone stool in front of my abode, do not disturb him. Let him sit quietly for a while." And that's precisely what I did. The quality of his medicinal herbs is as good as it gets. He is also easygoing and considerate of others. By comparison, the little snake on his neck has no filter at all. Don't worry. I didn't lift a finger against it. I won't go as far as getting into a quarrel with a snake. I often see her wandering in the woods singing strange songs. Actually, I must have heard all of her songs several times each by now. I'm used to her singing, but I still find it strange. That being said, I don't hate it either. My first impression of him was that he's not one to smile. After meeting him again more recently, however, he's still as reserved as ever, but he seems a lot more relaxed now. Maybe he met someone special. The last time Master and Shuyu came to dine at Wanmin Restaurant, I noticed that Shuyu seemed to have adopted a number of Master's mannerisms. It gave me pause for thought. I grew up under Master's care too. Is it possible that I have subconsciously picked up a thing or two from her as well? Please don't pay any heed to the way most people refer to me. I am not an adeptus and don't possess any divine abilities. I was born in a branch family of a clan of exorcists and grew up in the mountains far away from Liue Harbor. I am but an adeptus disciple, nothing more, nothing less. When faced with delinquents who are just out to cause trouble, most people will try to reason with them. This course of action perplexes me. Removing the root of the problem and disposing of these ill-intentioned fools seems like the obvious course of action. Why do common folks prefer the labor-intensive route? I am the apprentice of multiple adepti and have trained alongside them. After a certain point, however, they stopped teaching me new techniques and started focusing on how to control my intense homicidal urges. Oh, don't be nervous. Yes, craters have been left in the ground, and giant trees have been uprooted. But these things only ever happen in the mountains, far away from civilization, and certainly have never affected innocent lives. Besides, I can control myself now. My father's intent was to trade my flesh and blood for my mother's life. After he abandoned me in that cave, I still held out hope that he'd come back to rescue me. One day went by, then 2 days, 3 days. I used every ounce of energy in my body to fight off that monster. but as I collapsed on the ground, I finally realized that the day I was waiting for would never come. To this day, I don't know which one it is. Was I abandoned because I'm cursed? Or is it the way I've been treated in life that has cursed me? Once I secretly left the mountain and returned to my childhood village without telling my master. But it was deserted, and my father had long since passed away. I suddenly realized that the bond between my relatives and I had been completely severed, and nothing that I'd ever cared about in the past could ever have a future. Ever since then, I have abandoned everything related to the mortal world. That is, until I met you. The most important aspect of meditation is stillness. Let go of all agitation, and let the air around you flow into your body. This technique allows me to quickly focus in on myself. I heard from my master that after meditating beyond a certain point, there is no need to adopt the meditation posture anymore. Adepti can meditate even when standing up. I still have much more to improve on. The fear of losing the people most important to me and the desire to save them. This kind of feeling makes my heart ache. I've never experienced anything like it before. It's a burden, yes, but it's also something to hold on to. I've sampled numerous dishes during my time away from the mountains, but the truth is that I don't really remember how they taste. The only dish I can never forget the flavor of is that bowl of noodles I ate at home so long ago. I shouldn't have to remember that. Why do I have to remember that? Chew medicinal herbs for long enough, and you can only taste the bitterness. In all the years I trained under the Adepti, I had to abstain from all kinds of things, and to a point I got used to it. But them? The common delights of the mortal realm pose no hindrance to the Adepti. Thus, we may indulge in all manner of dishes as we please. These are the exact words my master said. This taste. Is it really meant for me? The food you cook is indisputably delicious. I can't refuse it. No matter. I'm used to this kind of flavor after all. I've been told that birthdays are important occasions for most people. They give presents to celebrate the anniversary of the other person's birth. Material possessions aren't really my thing, but the view of the starry night sky in the mountains is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I've frozen this lake and turned it into a mirror, so you can appreciate the reflection of the fleeting clouds and distant stars right up close. This is my way of celebrating your birthday. Hope you like it. The power I harness, it grows stronger. If my master were to learn about this, she'd probably have me add some more red ropes. I haven't been training as single-mindedly lately, and yet it's as if I'm growing stronger and stronger without making a conscious effort. I'm left to assume the only way for me to achieve this is by your side. I once believed that freeing my mind from all agitation was the only way to overcome. But after everything I've experienced recently, I finally understand. Only when the right things weigh on your mind can the desire to protect awaken inside of you. And that turns your power into something meaningful. Obey! Manifest! Unleash! Transfiguration! My will embodied! Take your true form! By ordinance divine, cryo-incarnate! Do your master's bidding! So, this is what the world considers to be treasure. Adepti treasures have special powers. What about mortal ones? These things, what are they used for? You'll regret that! I shall not yield! I will wipe them out! Don't push yourself. Allow me to finish this. No escape from fate. My time has come. My curse to bear. Feeble. In your dreams, you will regret this. What exactly is teamwork? Understood. I just have to stand here, right? I will do as you command.